Doctor, many fish oil supplements, when people go buy a fish oil, it comes from a salmon, a sardine, cod liver oil is a popular one. If you look at the ingredients on there, or if you look at some of the nutritional aspects of there, you don't see DPA listed on many of those. Does DPA come from primarily a different source maybe than salmon or the cod liver?
Well, many of those fish oils may still have some levels of DPA, but typically they are much lower levels than in other sources such as U.S. menhaden, for example, that has the highest levels of DPA as compared to all other known fish oils. Typically it's present in really small levels, and that's the reason why it's typically not placed on the label. So, but you can get DPA from a variety of different sources. It's just the quantity that are at which it's present there, and you may, for some types of oil, you'll probably have to take a lot of capsules to get the same level of DPA as you can get from one capsule of menhaden oil, for example.
Okay.
And then in addition to this, the way oils are purified, the way these fatty acids are fractionated from the mixture of fatty acids, which is fish oil, it makes a lot of difference. You can separate EPA from DHA. You can separate, to some extent, you can separate DPA from DHA as well, and that's where it becomes tricky. Not that many manufacturers know how to actually purify and how to fractionate DPA from the rest.
Okay. So, Doctor, you mentioned menhaden fish as a primary source of DPA. Can you talk about this fish a little bit? I don't think it's one that many people, at least in this country, are very familiar with.
U.S. menhaden is, there are two types of menhaden. There is Atlantic menhaden and there is Gulf menhaden. And both fish species, they are relatively high in oil. They are very fatty fish. They are typically not used for human consumption because typically U.S. consumers don't like fish that has a lot of bones, and many people don't like fatty fish. But it's a perfect source for fish oil supplements because, again, it's very, very oily. That's number one. And number two, it has a very good and unique fatty acid profile. The fish typically found on the Atlantic coast of the U.S. It can be found from Nova Scotia to Florida. It's harvested using purse-seine fishery, meaning that the bycatch is lower than for many other fish species.